Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. I'm hoping to just throw this thing up on the channel without doing any editing because I don't have much time. And here at the RTR, we're at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous and we're meeting Kat.
Hello.
And Kat has done something that I've been promoting for a long time. Rather than drive here, Kat flew in, rented a car. She rented an SUV, and we're going to get all the details from her on all the prices and how practical it is. And I think many of you should consider flying in and renting. And so we're going to go through all those details. So, Kat, thank you for sharing this with us.
No problem. Thank you for letting me, and I'm honored.
And so, there's no build here. There's nothing here. It's a rental car she's living in temporarily. So, how did you wanted to come to the RTR Rubber Tramp Rendezvous?
Correct. I've been watching you since February. Had a little bug that just said I want to learn about camping in a van or renovating a Sprinter van. And then I started found you and learned about this, and I really had a bug that said I really want to do this, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? Do I want to try to do it before I get out, or do I want to be there and just learn before I go and buy anything? Because everybody has such great ideas here, and there's so many new people and great thoughts and innovations that so that's why I decided to fly in and learn and then go from there.
And you haven't bought a rig yet of any kind?
I have not.
No. And so how smart is it to come here to learn before you buy?
Well, I found that my mind is open to a lot of different things. I've had a lot of different ideas, going from a scamp to an RV pull behind to doing a brand new van and building it out to getting a school bus. I even looked into that and how hard it would be. In New York State, there's a lot of restrictions and rules. So it was very interesting for me to try to figure out what I wanted to do, but I didn't know, and I still don't know. The whole idea of a van and being able to have to go into town and have to pack everything up kind of is like, that's my whole life now. I have to go to the van now. I have to pack everything back up and make sure nothing moves. So I was thinking about a travel trailer, so that way I could leave it behind, and I have a pickup truck at home. So I said, let me go and find out what other people's ideas were. And so that was very important to me, and I have not been let down.
Great. And I just think it's a brilliant idea, and I really recommend that all of you consider doing just this if you're not far enough along to be here in your own rig. So give us an idea of your costs so far. How much was the ticket from New York City, State?
Albany, New York. I live up in Lake Placid area, and it was minus 20 yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm much happier in 70-degree weather and the sunshine. And so I drove down 2.5 hours. I worked actually straight through. I work overnight. I'm a nurse in addition to a videographer. And I flew out. It was $400. It was a month earlier. It was $300. But I booked my tickets at the very middle of December, so it wasn't that far. It was only about 4 weeks ago I bought it. And I looked into Orbitz and found the best rental price I could find and I wanted to do an SUV. I didn't want to do something too big. I didn't need an Expedition or anything like that. I wasn't, I'm tiny, so I don't need a lot. I knew I was going to bring probably my tent and my sleeping bag and a blanket. And that was pretty much all I did, was bring my clothes, my sleeping bag, my blanket, and Walmart was my best friend. So I went online and figured out how to price everything out and see what I was going to do. And then I actually went and did a dry run at Walmart and walked around and found where everything was. So I wasn't spending hours trying to find the things I needed. And I bought the stove, which was $60. No, sorry, it was $20, and it was. You'll see it in a little bit.
Well, let's wait talk about that till we get there.
Okay.
So just tell us the price of the airline ticket.
The airline ticket was $400, and the
rental
car was $200. And because I don't have a credit card, I have a debit card. They hold $200 for a deposit, which that was okay. I mean, I get it back, and I have no addition to having any problems. So that is about so $600 right off the bat.
And compare that to what driving an RV here. I mean, if you have an RV getting 10 miles to the gallon and you drive from New York, I don't know how much that would be, but it would be a huge amount of money.
Right. Yeah. I mean, gasoline is, anywhere from $2.80 to $3. So and it's 40 hours just to get here. So you can kind of put out how much mile. I don't know how many miles it is, but I mean, if California is 3,000 miles away from New York, so.
Yeah, it's got to be 2,000 miles at least from Albany to here.
Right.
A lot of miles, a lot of expense. $600 is cheap, including your motel while you're here, which is the SUV.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Rental car, place to stay, airline ticket, $600.
Right.
You cannot beat that.
No.
And so, and have you been miserable? That would be the next question. Okay, if I do that, am I going to be miserable the whole time I'm here?
Right.
So why don't you show us around your rig?
Okay.
Now I'm going to take the camera off and take the camera around, and this is going to be a little bouncy because I'm not planning on editing anything. So we'll do our best. Okay, you'll just have to forgive this, folks. All right, so show us how you're living and now tell us how long you rented.
I rented the vehicle for 7 days, and that was going to be about $200. I think I upgraded. I have to admit, I did upgrade for another $5 for this one because there was a Kia Sedona or something like that, and they said, well, if you're going camping, this is a better deal, so maybe add another $5 a day. I have to admit that.
And so they knew you were camping.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I told them, I said, I'm going camping. They're like, where? I said, Quartzsite. So I have everything I need in here. It was my charging, my phone. I do everything. I just turn the car on. I have yet to use half a gallon of gas, even getting here and even charging. I have my Purell hand sanitizer. You got to have that. So
you stopped at Walmart and bought a few things.
I did. And this is also my shower.
You're showering inside.
No.
Oh, of course.
Bungees. And the shower curtain, which is over here, sorry. Which the young lady next to me was kind enough to lend me. And I basically bungeed it over the windows. I won't go through the whole thing. Bungeed it over the windows, right over to this side. I'm tiny, so most people can't see. Put a blanket over that area, over the window, and off I was. I showered yesterday, and I'm now nice and clean, and I have a nice hair that I feel a little bit more clean. So that was one thing I got to do, which I thought was very inventive.
I do too.
And so this is my sleeping rig.
So you're sleeping
bag.
in the
Yep.
SUV.
Yep.
And being shorter really helped in that.
Yes, most definitely. So I don't know if you can see it too well, but I bought my blanket, my sleeping bag, and again, I got a pillow because it wasn't that comfortable sleeping on this from my neighbor. So I was very happy to have that because.
Have you been sleeping on that? I would think that'd be hard.
No, this is perfect with the pillow on it.
Okay.
It was perfect. And I have no problems with everything. I bought the pillow. She provided me with this one.
Well, they were right. This is a very spacious SUV.
Right.
They steered you right on that.
And I mean, I have all my flight itinerary and the whole schedule from you guys in here. And I tried to be as organized as I could. I had my lists of the many things I needed to do for Phoenix and my lists upon lists. So I remember what I was doing and make sure I got everything that I needed. And I didn't forget anything, actually. I haven't wanted anything. So, and then I brought
we've had really good weather, so you're just sleeping in the SUV.
Right.
That's all you're doing in there.
Right.
Okay.
And I brought my tent, which I've had for probably 20 years. And I basically have put my suitcase in there because that's all I did was bring a backpack and a suitcase. And the backpack had my tent and my sleeping bag and a blanket. And in the pockets I brought powdered milk, and I bought sugar, and I bought coffee little packets and tea, any of those little trinket things that I could fit in there and be able to not worry anybody at the airport. So, and then everything else I bought. I brought a little backpack with me, and that was my purse, my carry-on luggage. And if you know anything about airlines, you can more than likely put one in, pay for the luggage, one luggage, and then usually when you get up to the line to be able to check in to the airline, they'll offer to take your luggage if you want and check it. So I saved $25 right there. Anything to lower the costs of things that would be a benefit. So that's what they did, and I had my luggage waiting for me when I arrived at the carousel in Phoenix.
Nice. And so you've got a chair.
Yep.
picked up a chair and
$5.95 for the chair because I had to price the lowest prices. The table was, I wasn't going to buy this table. This table was a little bit more money. This was $15. The table I had originally seen online, they didn't have, and that was $7.95, which I'm not complaining because it's sturdy enough. Maybe not to cook on. We tried to put a full Coleman stove on it last night, and it was a little too wobbly, so we ended up on the ground. But it's water you can put on there, you can eat off of it. It's been very nice. I put some candles, I brought some tea lights with me, so just to have the ambiance. Of course, I don't know if you can see in the bushes, I brought solar lights and just to kind of give myself a little extra ambiance and lighting so I knew where my camp was. And then I have my stove, which I have yet to use because we've been cooking on the fire. So I bought this. Ozark Trail has been my newest best friend. And this attaches onto this device and you just cook right on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the pots and pans, which came with a cup. And I've been able to boil water in it. I've bought Marichuan soups, and I bought canned soups, and I bought tuna and pasta, and that's what I've been pretty much eating is tuna and pasta, or beans and rice, or soup. And granola bars are a great breakfast. I bought little Honey Nut Cheerios. So if you want to see kind of inside, then on the right I have all my food items, like the pasta and the tuna, and I'll hold that back.
I got it now.
And that's the backpack I brought, and I bought paper towels, and I brought a towel, and I have my hiking boots because I saw the videos prior to coming. And then of course I bought the Lugaboo, so top and a bucket.
Gotta have that.
And I was very happy with that idea. So this is kind of my changing area / toiletry. So I'm pretty happy with that was well worth the $200 total with the food and all the camping items. I haven't even used half of the things I have. I still have rolls of toilet paper and things. So I'm going to end up donating all of that at the end because I'm not going to take it home with me. So I figured the free pile was exactly where people would enjoy it. I've already got some dibs on maybe the chair and the table and the stove, but it's other things. I said, why not just, give back what I received, because I've received a lot, and a lot of great people and a lot of knowledge, and I can't say anything better than come out, meet, learn. I wanted to see where people were going to go in the future because I'm planning on getting totally on the road, hopefully, whether I have to live out of my truck or not, in February. I'm trying to get out of the minus 20 degrees.
Good plan.
I really don't want to do that, so I'm really over it. And I actually quit my job to do this too. So I figured I could always travel a nurse, or there's going to be somebody wanting private care, or it's not about the money. I don't want the money for things. I'd rather give. I love the elderly. So to me, eventually I'd like to do something with the video and the elderly. I won't release that just yet because it might go on my YouTube channel. And so it's a work in progress, but I've had so many great ideas and so many people offering me information and technology and how to do solar, which was a big thing. I rushed here that morning to get here to learn about the solar, so I was very excited about that. It's about touching the items and seeing it and hearing about it. So I've been walking around meeting people, and everybody has been the most friendly I could ever ask for, and more than informative. And I thank everybody, and I thank Bob for being here and letting us all find out about this. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, Kat, thank you. So give us a summary. How much has this trip cost you?
So far, with the cost of the $400 for the flight, $200 for the car, so that's $600, and then $200 for food and for things. So about $1,000, if you taxes and whatever else, maybe, ice, whatever. But maybe, between $800 and $1,000. And that to me is a little expensive, but it's not for the information I received and for the people I met and the experience itself. And for a week, for $1,000, you're not going to find that anywhere else. You're not going to get a cheap hotel like that. You're not going to find anything that is comfortable and being able to walk around and have as much fun as I am and enjoying. I mean, just look at this weather.
If $1,000 vacation is cheap.
Yes.
Cheap.
Yes, for a week.
And the education
Right.
and the friends.
Yes.
I think it's a bargain. I really honestly do.
Yes.
I think it's a bargain.
Most definitely.
Sounds like you do too.
Yes, I've most definitely. It was the best $1,000 I think I've ever spent in my life.
Oh, that's great. I really appreciate hearing that.
Oh, most definitely. It's been a great idea. I don't know what the bug in me, but when they say listen to your gut, I've changed my life a couple of times and only a couple of times, and I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to trust my gut and say, I'm going. I'm doing it. I'm going to meet up with everybody I can meet and at some point in time and enjoy it. It's all about the camaraderie and learning and the friendships. And like you said, it's going to change your world. And it will. And it has. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, Kat, thank you for sharing your story here with us. Everyone out there, I hope you've been inspired. And you know what? For some of you, there may be time right now to spend $1,000 and come here and spend the next week.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hoping that maybe there will be a few who can do that. And if not, and if you thought there was no possible way you could come again next year,
think again.
You can.
Right.
Maybe you can.
Yeah, I mean, there's people living in Priuses, so, this is big.
This is big.
This is big.
This is big for the small-minded.
Right, exactly. I mean, I don't know if I could fit in a Prius even. I give people credit for that one. I'm intrigued. There's actually a car seminar later on this week, so if you can and you feel like it, just go and take a ticket. Call in to work sick for a week and just do it. It's learn and experience and enjoy it. It's once in a lifetime, and even if you don't do it this year, do it next year because it's so well worth learning. And there isn't a crowd here. Bob says a lot of people here. To me, there's not a lot of people here. I know people that go camping with this amount of people right next to each other. So this to me is the camaraderie. It's not a party, and it's a seminar that you get to meet like-minded people.com.
Thank you. And tell what SUV is this? Because that seemed like a really good one for.
This is a Santa Fe, Hyundai Santa Fe.
That's a good one.
And
wow.
it's nice. It drives a little faster than I thought. I won't go into that. I might do that off camera to Bob. You might get the fact that something might have happened on the way here, like a quarter mile. I was kind of doing, look, it's quartzite. Oh, look at all the little white dots. Must be campers. I'm so excited I made it. Oh boy.
Flashing lights?
Oh yeah.
Flashing lights.
Oh yeah. So that's going to be a little expensive, but that's okay. I won't tell you about that, but doot. So anyway, I don't mind. I actually didn't even shake. I was just laughing at myself going, if you're going to do quartzite, you're going to do the RTR, you did it in style.
Okay, well, Kat, thank you so much for sharing your experience here and your idea of flying in and renting. For those of you out here, I hope you've got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you later.